Maria Busmayer is Employer Branding Manager at Revolut, where she leads global strategies to attract top tech talent through creative campaigns, events, and reputation-building initiatives. Having grown her career in employer branding, she previously built the EVP and employer brand strategy at Glovo, establishing a solid foundation for her company's identity as an employer. At Revolut, Maria focuses on scaling strategy and harnessing creativity to connect with talent worldwide. Passionate about design and storytelling, she thrives on bringing both beautiful ideas to life in a fast-moving, dynamic space. Okay, what's the most common mistake companies are making when defining their employee value proposition?
I think sometimes companies, they don't understand the gaps between their vision or the leadership vision, for example, and the reality. So understanding those gaps are very important to then create a more consolidated and consistent strategy. So definitely identify those gaps, talking to the people, understanding what is the vision, bringing together this vision, and definitely something that will help building a more structured EVP, an EVP that will make sense and won't need reworks afterwards.
Do you have a short list about the steps they need to follow to understand the gaps?
It doesn't have to be very complex. However, it's very important to talk to the people. I will give a side note here. A lot of companies already do that internally with surveys, or they often talk to employees to understand what is the real experience, what are they missing, and the same exercise goes with leadership. Also, leadership will have a vision to their company, They should start those conversations. They should also know their reputation externally, also internally, right? Because people internally also talk about your reputation as employer. And those are kind of the first steps to start building your strategy, your value proposition. Then you will be able to define the right key messages you want to kind of base your employer branding strategy in.
And how does Revolut balance creative storytelling with the commercial and performance-driven nature of the business?
Revolut is we're very data-driven. I was talking in my keynote about the bridge between creative and the business. We definitely need to understand our objective. So we need to ask the right questions in where we want to go, who is our audience, and what is the angle we want to tackle. And then we start creating. So before doing all the creative and understand how we are using storytelling to achieve a certain goal or to achieve a certain project, we do need to ask those questions because in the end we know that they will be relevant for the business.
Yeah, so there is a data in the base, and then you create the storytelling after you have the data.
Exactly. So in the end, how we do it is every time we're doing a project, if it is for social media content, or if it is related to, let's say, events, as some examples, we ask those questions before. What do we want to communicate, right? What is our objective? Then we'll brainstorm on how to do it, on the storytelling and the narrative to get there. But we are always being based on specific objectives, either to whatever it is, to attract talent, to create perception, or kind of awareness. We then try to understand the storytelling around it. For example, if we want to talk about how many interns stayed after the internship stayed in graduate programs, and we have a specific number, like X%. We don't have to go around and say, hi, 70%. This is not the real number, but X% of our interns became graduates after the program. Come, we're hiring. Come work with us. We can definitely tell the story in a different way and bring these people, bring the real experience, and kind of in a more fresh way. So definitely we do have the objectives, but we will create different narratives and different ways of promoting those things.
So you can grab the attention, yeah.
Exactly.
And can you share some of the challenges you have in aligning your global EVP with local market realities?
I believe the main challenges of aligning a global EVP with local market realities is it's actually understanding the local market realities.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, right? But and that's basically your question. But I believe how we can solve this and how we can work with this is having a bit of flexibility within your EVP. So structuring your EVP and your key messages into sections or pillars, however you call it, for you to organize it, for example, in a communication strategy. Having this flexibility will help you work with doesn't matter which market. So in Revolut, we are a global company, but we do expand a lot. We do open new markets all the time, and then when we have to work with employer branding, it's like, okay, now we have to hire in this market, and they're very different from each other. Having a bit of flexibility in your EVP or understanding the points of your EVP you can relate to that market reality will help you be more effective in that market. For example, we can say that in Revolut we're a global company and we're remote. Does that resonate with the market in Brazil, for instance, or do they value more working with very talented teams? So first of all, the exercise of really understanding the local what the local talent values most, and spotting which are the aspects of your employee value proposition that can resonate better with that market. So having that flexibility within your EVP definitely helps adapting to local market realities.
Where do we start with our EVP? The most important one.
Starting with the EVP, I think it's a lot of what I said before, understanding your gaps, understand where do you want the work to be done, talking to your people, talking to your leadership, bringing the vision to life, and using the EVP to fill those gaps and understanding what type of talent you want to attract. So in a more practical way is kind of structuring in different sides. One is talking to the people, talking to the leadership, understanding what is your reputation internally and externally, and working together with internal teams to make sure this is done across the company, not only employer branding, not only promoting it, but actually being lived by employees every day.
Thank you.